Stadium here in Colombo for day 5 of this first test match between India and Sri Lanka.
We just have a look at the surface of the wicket where we've been looking for the last few days. We'll see that there is virtually no change whatsoever. It's still a very hard and even surface. The cracks that were there on the first day haven't opened up at all, and the footmarks where the bowlers have followed through and the batsmen have run down the pitch really haven't opened up. There's no dusting on top of the surface, so I don't think the bowlers are going to have any joy at all. And whilst you've got to admire the batting performance of those, particularly the Sri Lankans in the last few days, just have a thought for the bowlers. It really has been a thankless task for them. At the end of the day, Test cricket needs the bowlers to be in the contest.
Sri Lanka opened their account for the morning.
And he adds to his runs here. That'll go all the way for 4. So Sanath Jayasuriya has got the crowd going. End of the first over, and Jayasuriya's first scoring shot is a 4. That's his favourite area, and most of the 34 boundaries he has hit have come through there. 592 for 1. Nilesh Kulkarni now to start the bowling. And the full toss first up.
A juicy full toss by Kulkarni gets Mahanama on his way. After that initial nudge for a single, Mahanama presented with a very juicy one, coming down the wicket and hitting him past the bowler. There's no doubt that that would reach the boundary. This youngster just a loosener in his first delivery of the morning. What better delivery could a batsman ask? Mahanama just studded with boundaries, 26 of them.
And that'll be another one. This is just what the crowd has come to see. They might have feared that these two would have gone out there and just got it in singles. No such thing.
This is what really partnerships are built on. Mahanama sensing that Jayasuriya needs to settle down. He's got a few nerves around, but once he unleashes himself on the Indians, the pressure certainly would be off Jayasuriya as well.
This pair have now carried their partnership above 2 already in this short space of time, moved up from 5th. They're up to 3rd, and that's going to be another 4 for Jayasuriya. They're doing it in style.
So Jayasuriya showing that he's certainly not lost his composure, taking a cue from his partner Roshan Mahanama, and that time just leaning onto that delivery, a flighted one from Kumble, and picking the gap, bisecting the two fielders on the offside. Everything in position, and the ball just racing, scorching the grass as it goes to the boundary. So Sri Lanka certainly making short work of these Indian spinners right from the start.
Another one. Well, they might have thought they were coming to a test match, but this is very much the one-day variety at which Sri Lanka are so good. 4s in every direction.
The vast crowd bringing about this limited over atmosphere. The drum beats, flags fluttering around, and Jayasuriya and Mahanama providing the fireworks.
Surya now pushing on to 338 with those two boundaries. He's gone past Graham Gooch's 333 on the list of all-time high scores in Test cricket. Well, they've got protection out there this time. He's out. He's given him. Umpire Katie Francis has ended the partnership and brought a hush to the Premadasa Stadium as Mahanama's fine innings ends with a leg before decision from Kumble, and the hush is now broken and followed by the appreciation of this huge crowd here. So that magnificent partnership is over. Here's how it ended.
Kumble getting a ball to come back on Mahanama. Mahanama right back on his wicket and hit on the knee roll right in front. There's no doubt in the mind of umpire Francis that Mahanama is gone. Mahanama is gone. LBW to Kumble for a great 225. Sri Lanka lose their second wicket for 615.
So there he goes. Partnership of 576 between Roshan Mahanama, who goes back into the dressing room having been dismissed for 225, and Sanath Jayasuriya, who is still there, 340, and a tremendous roar from the crowd, not only when Mahanama went off, but also to introduce and to welcome the man who previously held Sri Lanka's highest score in Test cricket, 267. In comes Aravinda de Silva. So a change in bowling. The youngster Nilesh Kulkarni has been taken off after being struck for 3 boundaries in his first over of the day, and the more experienced Rajesh Chauhan has come on. He's gone. Jayasuriya caught at silly point, so the record will elude the left-hander, and he walks off in disappointment. And for the second time in a few minutes, the Premadasa Stadium is hushed. Pats on the back from the Indians, sympathy from them, and shock around the ground as Jayasuriya is caught at silly point for 340.
Certainly a stunned crowd here at the Premadasa Stadium as Jayasuriya walks back. These partnerships usually go when one batsman's out, the other goes as well, and Jayasuriya is no different. He's gone, very cleverly taken by Chauhan. The crowd rises in appreciation, the Sri Lankan dressing room. Jayasuriya, no doubt, very disappointed, but a great innings coming to an end.
Here is how his innings finally ended, the first time he had given a chance through it.
A very good delivery there by Rajesh Chauhan, getting that ball to bite and turn. Jayasuriya pushed on the back foot, getting it on the middle of the bat, but a little bit of bounce that time for Chauhan. And really the soft hands weren't there for Jayasuriya, and the ball just lobbing on to silly mid-off. And you could see Jayasuriya's anxiety as soon as it left the bat.
Simple catch to the silly point fielder. And elation for the Indians. Rahul Ganguly picking up the catch and then immediately coming across. You'll see these are professional cricketers together. They realize what a wonderful performance this has been by Jayasuriya, and they also realize what a disappointment it would have been for him to be out so close to what would have been the world record, the most coveted international and individual record in the game. And there's Ganguly having taken the catch, coming up and expressing his sympathy to Jayasuriya, and all the Indian players come across. And that is the meaning of international sportsmanship. Arjuna Ranatunga will come in next. Arjuna now gets off the mark with a sweep down to fine leg.
This is what all this great game of cricket is all about.
And Aravinda now gets off the mark. Well, if they can get some of that in the next couple of hours from Aravinda de Silva, their disappointment will be assuaged to a certain extent.
The stage was in fact held by Mahanama and Jayasuriya, but de Silva not to be overshadowed. Anything bad he's prepared to destroy. He can be brutal, ruthless when the ball's short. Anything remotely short, de Silva pounces it on it very quickly, and there's no stopping him.
Well, if he hadn't have turned his back on that, he would have caught it. Off the under edge, into the top of the pad, but self-preservation was the first instinct. And the catch went a bagging. 623 for 3. The two batsmen, stars of the moment, have both gone early this morning. And there's Arjuna coming on the wicket to crash it away for 4. So at least something for the stunned crowd to cheer. In the commentary box for the first time today, Ravi Shastri and Barry Richards.
Yes, and a terrific shot from Arjuna. He's not going to be tied down the wicket. Perhaps getting in a bit of practice for the one-day games. Certainly a very good shot right to the pitch. Not afraid to, even though the spinner's away from him, not afraid to go down the wicket, and a very good shot.
Yes, he's another player in excellent nick. Ranatunga had a fabulous Asia Cup. And there should be 4 more runs. He plays this shot very well, the sweep. He controls it nicely. Again, very well put away by Ranatunga. Very strong with that shot. Good footwork and placement. It's 643 for 3.
And after giving Chan raps about where his length was, just fell into the trap of putting it a little bit short, and Ranatunga just so strong. All these Sri Lankan batsmen play very well, square off the wicket, off the back foot.
This is again beautifully timed by Ranatunga. Another boundary for him on the offside.
Well, he's made his intentions very clear. Arjuna Ranatunga down the wicket, just timed beautifully. Didn't quite get to the pitch of it, and you see the bottom hand coming off, just stretching a little bit with that top hand to make sure that it goes along the ground. We'll see it from behind here, just letting go with the bottom hand just to make sure that the ball goes along the ground. But the timing was perfect.
It's the footwork that makes a kind of shot like that possible. Right to the pitch of the ball. And hitting across the line here, and this time successful. So the 650 coming up with that boundary, 652 for 3. And cut away by Ranatunga. This is 4 runs. He plays this shot very, very well.
And Chan again just falling into that trap. That's just too short. really isn't all that short, but on a wicket like this, and players who play so well off the back foot and square the wicket, you really have to keep your concentration up. You've got to make the players come forward.
And when he does that, he's taken on the full by Ranatunga and dispatched to the onside for another boundary. So consecutive boundaries here for the Sri Lankan captain.
Yes, just overcompensated. He realised he'd done the wrong thing the ball before. Tried to get it right up there, and in the end bowled a full toss, and a player of Ranatunga's class, he is able to put that away just where he wanted to. Wide mid on, long chase, but really no chance of catching it up.
So runs coming pretty quickly this morning. In 55 minutes of play, we have already had 74 runs added. Ranatunga with that boundary has moved on to 31.
This over, very poor over. He's bowled a short one outside the off stump to Ranatunga. That went for 4. Then a full toss. And now a short one to Aravinda De Silva. And players of these class are not going to miss those bad deliveries. Way too short, spinning in. And he's just helped it on its way. So not a good over for Chan.
Well, that's a lovely shot, past point.
Just too much room. Aravinda very strong in that department. You can just see that's outside off, and he's just flailed it away. Just backed his eye, hit it square, and just a magnificent shot. Not much footwork, just giving himself room to swing those arms through. And Kilcarney just straying a little bit outside off stump. And that is a class shot.
Well, he sure is an exciting player. One in full flow to Silva.
Ranatunga gets one away to backward square leg. Unfortunately, the bubble was burst as Ranatunga goes down the ground, mishit it. There's a chance of a catch. He can't get the hands to it. Kuravilla, the fast bowler, made ground coming back. The ball drifted around in the air. He may have got a finger to it in the end. Possibly something that should have been taken.
Ranatunga not been able to really get under that one. Getting the top of the bat. And that going right up in the air, not timing it as well as he would have liked to. Kuravilla making a very good attempt there. But he had the last moment the ball drifting away from him. So I feel if the Sri Lankans accelerate, get about 180 ahead, and would try and make a game of it by sending the Indians in to score 679 for 3.
First innings partnerships there. That's up and under from Ranatunga. He's not mucking around, and every indication that maybe he's thinking about setting a target or 200. If they continue at this rate, it will be closer to 200. And he's not mucking around at all. A little bit of elevation, just over the infield, a couple of bounces and into the boundary.
So Ranatunga looking more aggressive, looking to set a target, I believe. Right through with that one off Chawan, getting onto the pitch of it, going under it.
That's a very, very good shot. You don't have to be offline very much on this wicket at the best of times, but against a player of this class, you can't afford to stray onto the pads. Aravinda very quickly into position for this. It was really not a bad ball. Pitching about leg stump, but I think it was picked as the wrong one. And Aravinda just hit away with the spin and plays that shot as well as anybody in the game.
Placement perfect. Aravinda picking the spot there. The deep square leg much finer. Playing it square. timing it down.
This time the faster flipper outside off stump, and he shows his all-round versatility. He lays back and crashes it past backward point. There are very few players in the game who can play that any better either.
De Silva waited on that one. De Silva waited on that one. Shot close to his body, but able to give himself room, pick his spot. There was the sweeper and the back of the point in between the two of them for 4.
696 for 3. That's also in the top 10 of all-time test match totals. It's in the air, coming down to fine leg. Kuravilla unable to make the ground to come in and catch it. The ball was never in the air long enough, and nor was it going to carry. I don't think Kuravilla or even Green, the latest world champion for the 100-metre sprint, would have been fast enough to get in to catch that one.
Ranatunga helping that guy. Doesn't play much of those shots. Not able to keep that down.
In the air again. We go for 4 down to the fine leg. That brings up the 700 for Sri Lanka. They take the total to 701 for 3.
This is nicely played on the onside. It'll beat Kuravilla to the fence. He got it fine enough. So boundaries here coming thick and fast for the Sri Lankans.
Not much margin for error, just slightly deviating and going down the onside. Aravinda De Silva getting inside the line and glancing it away very fine to the right of Kuravilla.
Well, that's a lovely shot to bring up his 50. As good as any you've seen in this game. Beautifully played through mid-wicket. So 50 here for the little man.
Crispy played, beautifully timed. Prasad attempting to bowl the Yorker, just slightly off the mark. Aravinda De Silva very quickly onto it. That brings Aravinda De Silva's 50. Aravinda De Silva getting ahead of Ranatunga. Started off behind him, but very quickly now throwing himself into the bowling.
He's taken the aerial route here, over point, and another boundary. That's 100 runs in the session. In fact, more than 100 in the session. 130 runs have come, but that boundary brought up the 100-run partnership.
The 100-run partnership's more the norm rather than the exception in this test match.
And a glorious shot to bring up his 50. That was just dismissed from his presence by Arjuna Ranatunga.
An absolutely cracking shot bringing Ranatunga his 50. Just getting behind it. No pitch delivery. Ranatunga just launching into it with all the body weight behind it.
Well, he's on a roll here. He's not timed this one well, but he'll again get a boundary. There is no third man. So Ranatunga here looking to entertain. This is the third boundary of the over for him. He's raced away to 57.
Not very clever by Kuravilla that time. Short and also width for Ranatunga. Ranatunga on his toes, hitting it over the slips into the vacant region. So the runs flowing for Sri Lanka through the bat of Ranatunga.
Well, he just needs 10 more runs to become the first Sri Lankan to score 4,000 runs in Test match cricket. This time he's done it, and with good effect. Boundary number 4. So Kuravilla here losing his cool, and given some treatment here by the Sri Lankan captain.
Kuravilla certainly having lost his head, continuing to go short on Ranatunga, and that time Ranatunga just diverting that over mid-wicket for 4.
Playing a miss. I think that's Byers. I don't believe there's any bat on that. Certainly no glove on it from the wicketkeeper. It's Byers. Accumulate runs, accumulate records along the way. And I don't think we've seen the last of it today. And this time he's got it through. That outfield's very fast. And the other statistic that we missed just a moment ago was the fact that Chauhan just went past the 200.
And again, just paying the penalty for being a fraction short. They really have scored far too many of the 200 runs that they've scored off him. A lot of them have been off the back foot, where he's just been just a little bit too short, and with the wicket being so slow, players of this caliber are able to pick out the gap and just ease the ball through.
Cramped, call for the LBW appeal. Just a matter of whether it hit pad before bat. There was certainly some bat in it, but whether it hit the pad before it hit the bat, and of course whether the ball would have hit the stumps.
Yes, that's pitched right in the rough and has come back a long way. Perhaps just bounced a little bit. I think in the end probably a good decision. It might have just gone over the top. You can see the keeper just jump up as the ball, as he reacts to this, just bounces and hits just above the roll.
Partnership of 140 between these two, and there we see Arjuna. That last run brought up his 4,000 runs. And that'll be 4. He's very, very keen to work the ball away on the leg side, either with the sweep shot or, in this case, the one more square. I think he's enjoying himself out there. It's a bit of a challenge just to see if you can see how many balls you can hit on the leg side.
Yeah, very cheeky cricketer. Ranatunga does tend to upset other teams, and that's not necessarily a bad thing for Sri Lanka. It's well outside off stump, put right across, but beautifully played and struck off the middle. And the runs continue. Not a totally convincing shot by Ranatunga. This was a quicker ball by Kulkarni. Tried to push it through, and then you'll find that it's hit the bottom of the bat and gone just a little bit finer than Arjuna Ranatunga would have liked. The bottom edge of the bat, but enough bat on it. Very, very fast outfield, baked by the sun, and perhaps just a little bit unlucky.
Spoil the concentration. Over the top, deep mid-off. Just landed in front of Navjot Sidhu down there. He made some reasonably good ground, but he couldn't get to it. Sri Lanka 772 for 3.
There's the catch to slip. Not out, says umpire Randall. Ball coming off the bottom of the bat, a bound ball. And umpire Randall will have none of it. So the catch taken at slip, but it's got to be on the full. In this form of cricket, on the beach perhaps, it'll be out, but not here. 774 for 3. Straight through him. Venkatesh Prasad, big man, not being able to get down in time, and it goes for 4.
Chauhan persisting with that line wide out to the off stump. Ranatunga had to reach for it, able to bisect the two fielders of backward point and cover for 4.
Louds shouts of catch it. No one could get there off the last ball of the over. 789 for 3. He's a long way down. Umpire will ask for the help of the third umpire. The television replay. Arjuna Ranatunga being sent back by De Silva had to put the brakes on, turn around and try and get back in. And it's going to be close. So this is what the third umpire, Mr. Manuel, will be seeing. Mohamed Azruddin, and he's out there, hasn't made it. So Jayawardena will have his opportunity as his captain is run out.
So that's the end of Ranatunga, the end of this partnership that was really building. That's the only way this partnership was going to come to an end. They were looking for the quick signals, but on that occasion, Ranatunga playing a little bit too hard to the extra cover fielder. And a good brisk bit of fielding, and Ranatunga is on his way back.
So here's the Mahela Jayawardena on Test debut, and coming in for his first innings in Test cricket, just about halfway through the final day. Well, is he gone? Now that's very alert work by Ajay Jadeja, the substitute. The overbalance. Now, did he get back into his ground? The Indians don't seem all that confident somehow. And it really would be a shame for a new batsman to be out in that way. Off the pad, very alert work with Jadeja in there. Very close. We'll wait for umpire Manuel to give the decision. Just seemed to get back in time.
Just seemed to be able to push that toe back. It's going to be a very tight one for some Peter Manuel. The third umpire has ruled him not out. A very, very close one indeed. So it's a close call for Jayawardena.
That's nicely struck by Jayawardena. Unprotected area on the offside. Jayawardena quickly pouncing on that short delivery by Chawan and dispatching it to the boundary.
Yes, the bowler just trying to throw it up. Did the right things, but this wicket is just so slow. He's able to get back, pick out his spot, and that'll give him a lot of confidence. Initially going forward, able to rock back. And how many times have we seen that shot from both the left and the right-handers?
That brings Sri Lanka's 800 for the loss of 4 wickets. Once again, Jayawardena giving himself room, waiting for that short delivery. Chawan not doing himself much good, striving to get a little bit more flight, dropping it short. End of the over, Sri Lanka 806 for 4. Up is she played, ball running down to third man for 4.
Yeah, and you've got to feel for the bowlers in situations like that. Not really a convincing shot. I think we'll see from the replay it's a little bit too full to cut and sit the top edge, but enough bat on it.
Oh, juicy full toss on the onside, and Mahela Jayawardena just picking the gap. There's no stopping him there.
Again, good footwork there, right back on the stumps so that he could find the gap on the offside. So another boundary for the young man.
Again, it exposes the cruelty of being a bowler under these circumstances. Not a particularly bad ball, but just short enough, and the slowness of the wicket gives him plenty of time to get back and strike the ball through the gap on the offside. So Joe Wardener getting away to a very good start to his Test career.
And another lovely shot through the onside. It's not an easy shot to play, but Kumble doesn't spin the leg break that much.
Good balance and good body position here. He gets the foot outside the ball to make room for himself to swing the bat and his arms through. He hit that quite wide, really. Normally expect those to perhaps go past mid-on, but it really went past mid-wicket. And nice balance. His head over the top of the ball. As Ravi said, there's not a lot of spin back from the leg side, so he just waited for it to drift onto the pads, got his leg out of the way, and no trouble at all to pierce the gap. The outfield quite fast. So it's been a really good performance by the young man.
And again, and the result the same.
Well, you could save the replay from the first one and use it again because it is virtually identical. This time I think he did it with more confidence and moved into position much more quickly with the confidence of the previous shot. Brings up the 50 partnership between these two.
But he's now got enough confidence that he can go down the wicket and plant this one through square leg for 4.
Yes, and that's the 850. So Joe Wardener just joining in.
There are the figures. Sri Lanka just creeping up, and they're not very far away now from that top score. Dravid's behind the stumps now. Mongia has given away to him, and it goes all the way for buys. Dravid has kept wicket in tests before when Mongia has been incapacitated, but it's a difficult job for him when the ball is turning down the leg side. The end of the over, 855 for 4. You really put that one away, Aravinda. Carries him 4 closer to that 100.
Yes, this is a very good shot. Kumble trying to throw it up just a tad slower, but anything short. Ravinda so quick onto the back foot. In fact, his back foot very close to the stumps, and he's just got plenty of time to whip that away over mid-wicket. You'll see here how far back he gets. Right back near the stumps. Gives himself plenty of room, plenty of time, and up and over.
It's gone down towards the boundary now. Aravinda's looked at the umpire. He gives buys. So difficult time for the substitute wicketkeeper Rahul Dravid. 864 for 4. We're talking to the former England captain Tony Gregg, courtesy of Lanka Bell. And Greggy, we have a friend of yours, colleague and playing colleague of yours, Barry Richards, with us.
Oh, great. So he's been there watching this as well. Wonderful.
Greggy, just as we speak, there's a big roar around the ground. Aravinda De Silva just turned one down to prime there, got his 3, so the score mounts 871. And, unfortunately, we didn't play a few more test matches when we were around, Greggy, on wickets like this. I think we would have enjoyed batting.
Yeah, I'm sure, Barry. In fact, I think they need to do a little bit with their pitches down there. They are too flat. There's no doubt about that. They've got to get a bit of pace into them. But still, I suppose you'd know better than anyone that the concentration required to score as many runs as he's done, or certainly both of them, because I don't think people want to forget the contribution made by Roshan Mahanama. He's obviously a pretty talented cricketer as well. Wonderful. Yeah, if you enjoyed it, must have been good fun.
Yeah, it was wonderful watching him, and I think just a study in concentration. They obviously, as you have said before, there's been many occasions where they played well in one-day cricket, and they have something to prove in Test match cricket. And as we speak, Jalwadina, the young fellow who's just come into the Test match, first Test he's played, he's just got his 50. Wonderful strike past mid-on. So another Sri Lankan batsman gets his 50, and they just have put on a wonderful display, and it's for the country. I think they're trying to make their way in Test cricket, and this will be a fillip for all the country as a whole.
Yeah, they're folks. I mean, one of the great things about that part of the world is the hospitality that's extended to folks like you and me, not just by the board down there, but also by all the individual families associated with the Test players. I don't know what sort of time you're having down there, but last time I was down there, the biggest problem was trying to work out which party to go to each night.
With Sri Lanka 875 for 4, and Aravindra Silva moving on to 104 with yet another boundary, and Jayawardena in his debut Test match with a half century. He's got 51.
And again, Kumble just a little bit too short. The pressure off now for Aravindra De Silva. Just got that 100, and I think we might see 1 or 2 boundaries. Very quick on his feet. Anything short is just absolutely punished. We'll see his Kumble there, just bowling from a little bit further back. I think just trying to try something different, but not to be on that case. Went for 4.
He takes the aerial route and times it well. So the young man is growing in confidence here.
Once he reaches 50, he's sort of blooming out now. Mahela Jayawardena, who's got a lot of runs in the domestic cricket scene and showed a lot of promise. He's come good today. Conditions ideal for batting. Had a few nervous moments, but on that occasion, playing inside out over the offside field for 4.
We've seen another fine shot from De Silva, who's swept Nilesh Kulkarni from middle and off stump in front of square leg for 4.
Tilakaratne has been practicing with the boys on that occasion. Very first ball greeted with a sweep shot from Aravindra De Silva, picking the gap, going right through with it. It's going to be very hard to bowl at a time like this, when everything's almost come to this position where you just go through the motions, and the batsman going for this world record.
That's it. 900 runs on the board with that single. And that's not something you see very often. It's happened only the second time in the history of the game. A team reaching 900 runs in an innings in a Test match. And just 4 runs away from the world record. And he cuts it away. 4 runs to De Silva. So this is the highest score by any team in international cricket in a single innings in a Test match. Sri Lanka going past 903 for 7, made by England against Australia way back in 1938. The crowd, the officials, all cheering as one. 905 for 4 the score.
So very great achievement for Sri Lankan cricket. A historical day for Sri Lankan cricket as well. That's a team really enjoying themselves, getting themselves enthralled with this. The crowd really cannot believe this, the highest total after 1,374 match history of Test cricket. So it's going to be a day that people will not forget for a long time. So that's the highest score by any Test side in the history of Test cricket. So Sri Lanka right on top at the moment, where all records were going down.
So he's decided to cut loose here. That's another boundary for De Silva. He has suddenly changed gear.
So De Silva taking the attack on. He must have been, he must be aware of this 1,000-run mark and all possibilities to get there. Wouldn't that be a great moment?
Edged, and it's gone between the keeper and the slip. If Moglia was there, that might well have been taken. But Rahul Dravid is a part-time keeper. He had no answer to that one. It's 9:15 for 4. So here, De Silva continuing to stand outside the leg stump. This will be runs for him here. Another boundary, but we'll have to wait for the umpire signal and see if De Silva got any bat on it. Yes, a boundary signal.
It's a brilliant catch, absolutely brilliant catch taken there by Kulkarni, who flung himself at that drive on the up by Mahala Jayawardene, and Mahala Jayawardene departs. It's Mahala Jayawardene hitting Ganguly on the up, and Kulkarni flinging himself at this tired end of the day. A very good catch, and Mahala Jayawardene departs. Sri Lanka 9:21 for 5.
Slashing drive, brilliant piece of fielding by Kulkarni. He's a tall man. He needed all of his length to stretch out. He's bowled something like 67 overs himself in the innings. Oh, brilliant catch. That was well caught, and good camera work to get that as well. Romesh Kalawitharana, the man for the crisis. 921 for 5. Absolutely uncharted waters. No one's ever come in this situation before in Test cricket. That's going to be caught on the boundary, straight down his throat. So Aravinda De Silva finishes with a blaze, trying to hit it over the top and go over the boundary, straight down the ground. So the 6th wicket falls for Sri Lanka. Aravinda De Silva trying to drive over deep mid-off, but he got it very low on the bat. A straightforward catch. Venkatesh Prasad down there at deep mid-off takes a comfortable catch. Aravinda De Silva is on his way for 126.
Prasad at long off. De Silva really not getting the ball in the middle of the bat. The ball hitting in the toe, and Prasad finishing off, taking the catch to a nicety.
Well, Chaminda Vas comes in to join Kalawitharana. Again, he tries a late cut. This time he gets it past Kuravilla, who's noticeably limping and struggling in the field with a test match coming up next Saturday. They've taken another run too. Rather untidy piece of fielding, but I think he has a leg problem or something. He's not moving at all well. And as I say, with a test match coming up on the weekend,
It will be interesting to know what's going in the minds of Kalawitharana, what instructions he's playing to. Sri Lanka 9:41 for 6. Are they looking for the 4-figure mark?
this one will go for 4. No fieldsman can get around and stop that. He's finally got the sweep shot away to complete the over. Sri Lanka 9:49 for 6. As they move into the 3rd spot now on the highest total in the history of first-class cricket. And that's probably about as far as they'll get. But the main area of the wicket is hardly marked at all in the 5 days. Quite incredible. So that's the end of the over. 9:52 for 6. So it's 952 for 6. Arjuna Ranatunga has taken the humane way out and declared the innings closed, and that will be the end of this test match. The tour conditions say that half an hour after the completion of 75 overs on the last day, the game can be called off. So after 20 minutes of play and the 10 minutes for change of innings, that will be it for the test match. Arjuna Ranatunga, the Sri Lankan captain there, alongside him Mahanama. The players shake hands. They're probably all quite relieved that the game is over. Kumble there has been acting captain for India for today. Umpire Steve Randall from Australia has been out there for the full 5 days. And after they amassed a total of 537 for 8 late into the second day, they declared centuries from Sidhu, Tendulkar and Azharuddin. Sri Lankan bowlers, the most successful was Sanath Jayasuriya, 18 overs, 3 for 45. It was a pretty big job for the fast bowlers, Vas and Pushpakamara. Muralitharan and Silva did the bulk of the bowling. Jayasuriya and Mahanama got together, and their partnership just went on and on and on. They set a world record for their partnership, and then, as I say, everybody turned up. The gates were thrown open. The crowd turned up in numbers this morning with the expectation that Jayasuriya was going to break the world record, but he was eventually out following Mahanama's LBW to Kumble for 225. Jayasuriya was out. Caught Ganguly bowled Chauhan for 340. The Indian bowlers worked hard, but really there was no joy there for them. The only one who can probably walk off and feel as though it was a good 3 days in the field is Ganguly. 9 overs, 2 for 53. The hard workers were the spinners, Chauhan, Kumble and Kulkarni. 70, 72 and 78 overs each. The figures they'd rather forget about.
I'd first like to ask Sachin Tendulkar to come up, please, and collect a cheque of 25,000 rupees from Mr. Upali Dharmadasa. Well, Sachin, a rough 3 days on the field, and in hindsight, a good toss to lose?
Terrific toss to win, actually, because, we didn't know how the wicket was going to play. I thought it would break up a little more, and I expected more help for the bowlers.
But on the whole, were you disappointed with the bowling, or you thought that the Sri Lankan batting was just too good?
No, I thought the batting was also good, but there was no help for the bowlers. I think if you want to have results in test matches, this is not the kind of wicket you should play on.
I agree there. And another thing from the positive side from your team, hundreds for you, Sidhu and Azharuddin. So obviously you'll be looking forward to the next test match.
Yeah, definitely. But as I said earlier, I mean, there wasn't enough help for the bowlers. So basically the match was dominated by the batsmen. And I wouldn't like to take away the credit from Sanath Jayasuriya and Roshan Mahanama, who really batted well. It requires a lot of concentration, dedication, application for 2 days to bat continuously.
Okay, let's hope we have a better track at the SSC. Thanks a lot and good luck for the next game.
Thank you.
We can ask Arjuna Ranatunga now to come up and collect a similar cheque of 25,000 rupees from Mr. Upali Dharmadasa. Well, Arjuna, losing the toss, first day of the game, did you think so many runs would be scored, over 1,400 runs?
I think it was one of the best toss to lose. Even we were thinking of batting first, but after they were batting so well, and we thought we should have the same thing and just keep on going.
And a word on the record partnership, must be an outstanding effort.
Yeah, it was fantastic, especially Sanath and Roshan came out and played positive cricket. And I think we were very happy. I think everyone was supporting them. We were trying to see the record breaking right throughout, and they did that for the country.
Now, what was your advice to the players once India had set that big score and you had to get 337?
Yeah, first target was to try and avoid the follow-on to get 337, and after that we just wanted to go on.
Okay, and now the second test starts in a few days' time. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, I think the boys are very keen now. They are very positive. We had a very good batting turn and hope that we can come and try and give another good show and try and win the match.
A little disappointed missing out on not getting 100 and getting run out.
Yeah, that's something I was really looking forward to, but that's how the game goes, and hope the most important thing was the others got a lot of runs.
Okay, well done, Arjuna, and good luck for the next test match. Arjuna Ranatunga, the captain of Sri Lanka. And now I'd like to call Dr. H.I.K. Fernando. Doctor, if you can come up, please, and let us know who your man of the match is.
He had half centuries, centuries, double hundreds, but a triple hundred with 3 wickets leaves no other options to me. The only contender, Sanath Jayasuriya.
So Dr. Fernando's choice, Sanath Jayasuriya, the man of the match for that terrific triple hundred. And he collects a check of 10,000. Sanath, if you can come here, please. Now 340. At the time when you got out, you must have been disappointed, but now it must have sunk in, and you must have realized that not many people get 300 runs in Test match cricket.
Yeah, I was a little bit disappointed, but all in all, I was very happy to get 340, and for my country, at last we got 950 or something total. Very happy at the moment.
So what was it like concentrating there? Because you had been on the field for 2 days. You were batting from, you opened the innings for Sri Lanka, and you were chasing a big total. What was your plans?
Yeah, earlier we want to avoid the follow on 337, and it was a bit hard in third day till lunch to tea, which were very, very hot. And both of us were managed to go on, myself and Roshan.
And when did you first think of the world record, you reaching or coming close to the world record, or maybe even beating it?
I don't think world records, because I have to go and bat. That's all my main thing. But I never think of world records. But I want to first avoid the follow-on and think of getting runs more and more. That's all I'm thinking.
Okay, well done. But now let me come to one thing. I believe you've been given a house by the Minister of Housing and Urban Development. Now, Brian Lara got a house too in West Indies when he broke that world record. He built 14 bedrooms there, one for each player, I presume. How many bedrooms are you going to put in? 2 for the umpires as well?
That I don't know. I have to decide later.
Okay, well done. Many congratulations. Terrific effort. Sanath Jayasuriya, man of the match here, 340 and 3 wickets in the game. Deserves the standing ovation he's getting. And now another award for, and it's a big one, $25,000 for the record-breaking partnership by Sanath Jayasuriya and Roshan Mahanama. 576 runs, that's the best for any wicket. And if Sanath and Roshan, you can come up and collect that award. $25,000. Also will receive a couple of television sets from Hemika Amarasuriya, chairman of Singa. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would presume that the presentation ceremony now will come to an end. Again, we've had a fantastic test match where a lot of records have been broken, and many congratulations again to Sanath Jayasuriya for his outstanding performance. So from all of us here at the Premadasa Stadium, a very good night, and we look forward to being with you on the 9th of this month for the second test match between India and Sri Lanka.